All right, hey guys, Jason here. Today, what we're going to be talking about, the 4 e-bikes that I have. We're going to basically what's best for what. I now have 4 of them. One of them I have bought myself, which was the Fiido, and then the other 3 here were given to me by each company, and I've had a lot of time on each of them. We use the crap out of these bikes. We ride them like crazy, especially here, and we have them each set up for a different purpose, but we're going to see what one might be best for you, because I'll tell you what, all of them have different pros and cons. If I was to build my own bike, I would take bits and pieces from every one of these and make my own. I would take the power from the Magicycle. I would take the mag wheels that are coming on the Fiido. I would take the suspension that's on the Cyrusher, and I would take the cool features of the Heybike. Okay, each one of these offers some pretty unique perspective and options. And unfortunately, I can't find a bike that does everything. Okay, there isn't something out there that just gives you everything you're looking for. Each has their pros and cons, and that's what we want to cover today. What's going to be best for you? Now, every one of these bikes are legal by the fact that they have a 750 watt basic, 750 watt motor in them. So they're legal to be used anywhere a bicycle can. Behind closed gates on WMAs, on trails, on any place you want to, beach riding, things like that. Anywhere you can ride a bicycle, you can ride one of these. If you were to put a 1,000 watt motor in any of these, or buy one of these that has a 1,000 watt motor, which will get you faster, you're going to be in trouble, because that 1,000 watt motor is going to make it illegal, makes it a moped, and it has to be licensed and follow car and vehicle regulations. So there's a whole, this is the best you're going to get. Okay, and don't be fooled by any of the, well, it's faster, it's this or that. There's no more faster. Every one of these things is within a mile of each other top speed. That's going to be right around 28 miles per hour. They're all right there, okay? There's no difference that I'm seeing in any one of these, and I will test each one of them for you on my little loop that I have planned out that we'll put a GoPro on, and we will drive each one of these where you can see them in person. Again, we're going to make this the ultimate e-bike video. But I'm telling you right now, there is no one clear winner that does everything. There's one that does the best for what I like. But again, even that one, I wish I had components from the other ones on here. So again, it's going to help you decide what's the best route for you to go with what you're looking for in an e-bike. So let's take the one that I bought myself first. Okay, this is my first ever e-bike, and that would be this right here. This is the Fiido. This is the T1. I just knocked down my kickstand. This one, you guys have seen me do reviews on every single one of these bikes. Okay, but the Fiido, the T1 that we have right here, I want to make sure that's still good in frame. Hold on, I'm coming in there to look to make sure we're good. We are. This T1, this Fiido T1 Pro, or whatever it's called, is a great bike. Now, with it, I love the step-through design on here. This is very nice. You will notice that every bike I buy has a step-through. The last thing I want to do, especially being a short guy, but even these 20-inchers, but is have that bar and have to have weight, or have my grandson, like you see here, and me having to lean over and reach over bars and tip them. No way. Those days are gone. That's over. I have no interest in anything with a bar on here like that for myself, unless it's a very low-angled bar that I can still step over easy. I want step over and I want step through. Every bike that I have has that feature. Now, the Fiido has got a little bit of spring in the seat post right here, and then it has a front fork on the front. So you do have adjustable shock suspension in the front, and you get a little bit right here, as you can see in that seat, which does eat up the bumps pretty good. I mean, you're going down and you feel that. It's nice. It's functional, works good. It does not have locking grips, so these grips can spin very easy. You got to constantly readjust for the palm swells. That's kind of annoying. Locking grips would have been a much better feature on this. Has a great rack on the back that's normally wood. I removed it because we put our kids' carrier seat on here. This is the bike we used to take our grandson, our 2-year-old grandson, riding around with. The power output of this thing, not bad. It's got the speed, it's got everything you're looking for. It feels good. It's got a push lever throttle, so if you like a twist throttle, this does not. It has a push button, a thumb throttle like this that goes down, and this one does give you your simple controller here for your 7-speed controller on it, just like most of them do. You have your headlights. Again, I've reviewed these bikes in full, so we're not going to go through all the specs. I'll link them at the end of this for you as best I can. I can only fit 4 at the end, so I think I can do all of them at the end of this video. So we'll link their individual reviews. But seat clamp on there, it's a very good bike. I love the mag wheels. Love the mag wheels. I do not like that for an off-road bike, I had to buy and replace these tires. I put these on here myself. It came with street tires on this particular bike. So I had to replace the tires myself and put those on there. it has been a pretty good bike, and Fiido has pretty good service on there for things that you need as well too. I broke my torque sensor down here, hit a rock. I'm still using the broken one, but I did get a new one. Cost 20 bucks, wasn't bad, but it did take almost a month and a half to get here from that. So that's kind of upsetting that it took so long to get the part, but at least they had it available. Like I said, the mag wheels are very nice. If I get sticks in the woods coming into here, they'll snap off without, they're not breaking my spokes. I like the mag wheel aspect. The downside to this bike, the one real big downside that really upsets me is the fact, and again, not something that I knew about, but I do like the fact that on this one, it is a key. You see the key right here? I take the key out and I can take the key and nobody can start this bike because I can take this key with me and then they can't access it. You put the key in, you can use it to release the battery, but you also turn it on with a key like a car. Now the bike is actually on and I fire this up. Now the bike is fired up, so we're good to go. So it's a nice feature having a key. I can take that with me and they can still steal it and pedal it, but they're not going to be able to drive it. It's just a nice feature. I like having that key option there. On the same note, I like the other ones that don't have a key, so it's kind of hit or miss. The only thing I do not like about this bike at all is the fact that it has this, and I've emailed them videos on this, and I've talked to Fiido about this, and they say it's normal, and it upsets me, but it has a lockout on here. Okay, so if I take this and I want to hold this bike back, and I hit that throttle, it's going to go jerk, 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 because it doesn't want to hurt the motor. So it's going to just keep going jerk, 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 and I can hold it. It won't just go. Watch. See that? It's not going. Okay, so like if I have my son or grandson on here and he's in the back of this thing and I want to just hit the throttle and go, it just does this. See, it's you know, it's just, I can overpower that battery. That, you know, it's like, come on. Just, you know, give me the battery, give me the power. I want it. Every other bike here, I hit that and it's gone and it'll do a wheelie. Not this one. Okay, this one just bogs. Once you get it going and you give it a little input, throttle works and it goes. But even there, look at, even there, if I want to just go from a standstill. Okay, that's not, it seems like it's even getting worse. It's upsetting. Okay, now I mean, you can pedal and push it. Once it's going, it does good, but it has zero torque off the bat. It being my first e-bike, I thought this was normal and how they were. Now that I own other e-bikes, I realize that this is not as the case and it upsets me. Is it a deal breaker? Maybe for some. If I were pulling a trailer, it would definitely upset me. But again, once you get this thing going and you get past that initial required torque burst here, right here where you're fighting it, but once you get it actually going, this bike does fantastic and it goes well. It's this though, right here. This is the part that upsets me. So that's my only real complaint on this bike. Otherwise, I love it. But that lockout or whatever stupid thing they got going on in the motor is upsetting to deal with. But still a great bike and also very affordable. This bike today is almost, you know, it's like, I think you can get it for 900 bucks or 1,000 bucks on their website, but I think even Walmart had an 889 deal going on these. So the price of this bike is very worth it. It is a very good bike. It rides super nice. It gets up to speed. It's got the power when you're going. It does everything very good. That's my only complaint. But again, this is also one that has mag wheels. We love that factor. This is a great bike, and you get a suspension seat post stock from the factory that does a very good job on here. So, and simple design. It does a good job. I cannot knock too much about this bike. That is the one hit, though, is that motor. They could definitely do better on the motor as far as initial takeoff. So that is the Fiido. And we will ride these things, but it is a great bike. This is that Fiido T1. It also, if you notice, has fenders that use these bars for bigger fenders. You'll see that on a lot of them, but one does not. We'll cover that. But there's this bike right here for you. And like I said, it's got a lot of advantages, especially when you start talking about the money that's in it. It's a very, very good price for what you're actually getting in this bike. And it comes with a front basket. It's the only one that comes stock with a front basket out of the gate without having to charge you extra. All the other ones, this one you can't even put a front basket on because of the motorcycle fork, and the other ones look like they're the same exact mount, and this basket could switch to any of them, but you cannot get the front basket for free on any of the other ones, where Fiido gives you this front basket automatically when you buy the bike, and the headlight mounts right on the front of it. So Fiido does a really good job on it. The only hit there, like I said, the motor. The motor upsets me. And the fact that I sent them a video of it and showed it to them and showed them what's going on, and they got back and said, it's a resistance setting and it's completely normal. Have a great day. Okay, that's what I got back. That kind of upsets me that they're letting it be that way. Again, however, once you actually get off the gate and you get going, the motor does a great job. So take it for what it's worth. Next one we got, we'll go in order of what bikes we got. The next one, this one right here. Okay, this is the Magicycle Ocelot. This is the one that we got. This is the amazing. Okay, now this one is huge, got some huge differences. We also did a couple quick upgrades. This is Tina's favorite bike. We obviously put the basket on, but I also put a suspension seat post in here. This is a suspension seat post and a Cloud9 seat. So we get, not only do we get cushion in the seat, we get a seat post suspension, like you saw on a Fiido, I put in here. I think altogether this cost me 40 bucks for this seat and seat post setup, but now Tina, this is her bike, has that complete, not only the squish in the seat post, it's also in the actual seat as well too. She loves it. So we get a nice setup on there. This one here is the only bike out of here that's using a 52 volt battery. When it comes to power, this bike crushes all these other ones. When I'm talking about out of the gate power, again, they all do the same speed. The power of this bike is insane compared to everything else. This is just pure power on every kind of level. And it came with the very good Chow Yang, or whatever they call them, the off-road tires stock. On the Fiido, I had to buy my own. It cost me 65 bucks, and I had to take the wheels apart and put them on. This has already got good ones. All these other ones have the same tire on them as this one does from the factory, so it's a very nice feature. Again, nice step-through design, perfect. Again, we'll have the video at the end of this where you can see the review, but this bike here, it also has a nice lockout on it too. So rather than having to use a key, which I can use a key to remove this, I have a code in here where I can actually, to turn this one on, we got a 4-digit pin that we put into this to get it to fire up. So it's kind of nice, but you do have a key lock on this side right here and a charging port on this side. This bike, however, this bike here, 52 volt, none of that lockout. This thing here, it straight up, it screams. You're gone. I mean, it's it. I mean, this thing here, it don't play around. If you're not holding on, I mean, you can't hold this back. It's just gone. I mean, there's no, this bike moves and it's got the power. Cannot say enough great things about this particular bike. The power is insane. That's what I love the most about it. Like I said, it's almost scary power, but imagine if you were hooking this up to a kid carrier, a trailer, hauling animals out with it, something like that. This bike is pure 100% power instantly. It's gone. It's just that I can't even try. You can't slow. You cannot slow this bike down. You cannot hold it back. You cannot stop it. Massive power. So that's a huge factor of this. As far as things I don't like on it, I don't like the little headlight that's on there too much. Really, I can't say anything else. The basket's good, the rack is good. I actually prefer this style shifter, and this is a twist throttle. So rather than a thumb throttle, this one here actually twists, and it does a great job. This bike is phenomenal. And for the money, I absolutely love it. So power-wise, you're just not beating this, okay, as far as this thing. 52 volt, and it does an incredible job. It is by far the fastest or most powerful, not fast, they all hit the same speed, but this bike here screams. Tina loves it. She won't, like I said, you can see it set up for her, and I don't get to play with it. This is basically her bike, and she basically tells me stay off of it and don't mess with it. This is mine, go get your own. So that's an excellent bike. Absolute insanity, perfect, powerful bike, zero complaints, and affordable. I don't remember, I want to say, you have to look at the websites because they changed. I'm thinking like 1,300 bucks. Not too bad price-wise. Incredible, incredible power. Next one we got here, given to us as well too, was this Cyrusher. Notice this one is set up because this is how I'm going to use it. This is now my hunting bike that I use for all of my stuff that I'm doing. Now this one takes in a few different features to it. Now, we have in here, you're noticing we have a air shock suspension in the rear. So rather than a suspension seat post, we have a full suspension on the rear of the bike. Okay, you can see that whole thing moving. So we got a whole rear suspension. Huge difference. Huge difference in ride. Now, her Magicycle with that Cloud9 seat and that seat post, very close second. Very, very close second. I like that system a lot, and it's a little less going on here than that. So it's a kind of a tight mix there, and more power in that bike. This one here, I love the motorcycle style front fork. Okay, we have this fork in the front that is double tubed like a motorcycle is. I really like that. Now I've added a light on both of mine and her bikes. You can see it here that we have put on these extra lights. They scream. They're amazing. They're like 18 bucks, but they do a great job. This bike here though, comfortable seat, nice good quality gel seat on it already. Nice design, full suspension, perfect setup. It's got a nice guards here for the chain right here, and they're kind of like a metal-y, they just work really good. It's a great design, great setup, great bike. I love the shorty fenders without having the extra metal braces on there. I like the little details they've done in here as far as how they painted the calipers on it. And the rack on this one is my favorite. It is a much bigger rack. Again, you'll see the video of these details in each of their bike reviews. But the rack on this one is massive in size underneath here. You can see it here, but this rack is huge, holds a lot of weight, very well done, very well built. This thing is, it's just an amazing system with what we got going on here. I straight up love this rack setup on this bike 100%. Love the suspension, love the forks, love the headlight, love everything about it. I cannot complain. Now, this one here has locking grips, okay? These two did not. We do not have locking grips on her Magicycle right here. They are not locking. You can turn those. We do not have locking grips on this one. You can turn those too. They'll spin. So that palm swell, you constantly got to pay attention to that. This one has locking grips so that these never move. I like that. It is also a twist throttle. Now this one here, we do not have the 52 volt power that we had in the other in Tina's Magicycle, but Cyrusher does not play around either. This thing here is a serious screaming bike, and it has that power also. This thing here will literally go, and you can't hold it. It's gone too. Same kind of deal. This bike will go. It's a smoother delivery though. Okay, where her Magicycle is screaming power instantly. You hit it and it's just boom. It's all the power at once. This one comes in much smoother. It's a much more toned down, gentler takeoff. It's all there. The power is all there, but and you can't stop it. You can't hold it back. It's not going to let you, but it is more gentle in its delivery of that. So it's not such a bam, hit it, here it all at once. It's more of a and goes. Love the design of this, okay? Almost kind of like it a little better, but there's no denying it. This does not have the power that that 52 volt bike does. That thing has pure power. This has got the same speed, a lot of power, and a smoother delivery of it. Much more user-friendly, easier to ride, and a great design. But this is the bike that I am using as my hunting bike now. I like the upright position of this. I like the extra height in the bars. I like the motorcycle style front fork for all of that travel in there. And I like the full suspension in this frame. It eats up every bump so butter smooth. You'll see it when we ride it. But fantastic bike. Cannot say anything bad about it. Still 20-inch, which means you get that low center of gravity, easy step-through design, even with the shock there. Nothing to it. And we get that low center of gravity, which means when I load this up with backpacks or even meat, stand on the back, everything is nice and low rather than being up high on a 26-inch tire bike. Love that low factor of center of gravity. When I'm moving through the brush and stuff, moving through the tight trails, bouncing around, I like the low center of gravity. So it's a beautiful feature. And again, each one has their own little pros and cons. This Cyrusher, about the same price as what the Magicycle is. Beautiful in design, perfect bike, got a lot of great options going for it. Now, top battery on this one too, and again, I'll link each individual video at the end of them. This one also has a walk feature on it, which is kind of cool. See, I'm walking this bike around. On this one, if I just press the down button, it's going to automatically go into walk mode. So if I had to walk, say, across the road or something like that, or anything, I can press this and it's going to start to go on its own. It'll kick it. There it is, walk mode. Does it all on its own till I hit a brake. Once I hit a brake, it stops. So it's kind of a nice feature in here too, where you can walk it up a hill or walk it across the road and you don't have to actually do any of the work on it. It can do it all for you. So that is the fantastic Cyrusher. Amazing bike. Cannot say one bad thing about this bike. Works like a champ, and I love that motorcycle fork. I love the looks of it. I love the front end. I like the amount of mass and beef and weld and how thick everything is here that's done. Love the full suspension setup on it. Love the big rear rack. Love the price. Love the tires that came with it. Love the little attention to detail, like I said, with the color, you know, the red calipers, the red adjustment knob right here, just the little details. Big headlight on the front. They did a fantastic job on this bike. Love how the cables actually go through the frame rather than just being all bunched up and swinging around the sides and all that stuff. Like how they're there. I like everything about that bike. Straight up love it. That brings us to the Heybike. This is the Heybike Horizon. This one you will notice is much bigger, okay? This bike is 24-inch. Now, you heard me talk about how the rack gets too high up when you start getting into 26-inch bikes. You know, you're up here with that center of gravity gets higher. This bike kind of bridges that gap between a 20-inch and a huge 26-inch being a 24-inch. So we're getting that extra tire height, you know, and that bigger tire is going to smooth the bumps over a lot. All that little chatter on the roads and stuff, because of that bigger tire, it's much smoother in design, feels more comfortable when you're driving. So it really absorbs those. Now this one here is a full suspension bike. However, this shock is non-adjustable like the air shock on the Cyrusher. But as you can see, we do have full suspension. You can see that whole bike go down and flex right in here. Okay, so we have that full suspension feature in here. Chainring guards are plastic on here. Okay, not bad, but they are plastic, which means they can chip if you were to drop it on something. But we have a great full suspension system, a good rack on the back of this. Cannot complain about it at all, especially for 99% of what people are doing. And you can fit a child carrier, things like that on this rack without a problem. We know we already put it on there. Comes with a chain derailleur guard on here. And you see this weird little kickstand looking thing underneath here. There's a reason for that. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. But great bike. And you also notice we got the super high riser. Also, there is a reason for that high riser too. I want to take a look at my camera real quick. Hold on. Making sure stuff is still working right. Yes, okay. So we have, it's hot out here. It's almost 82 degrees. But we have, there's this high stem. There's a reason for that. But look at how nicely everything is wrapped. Full suspension front fork. Locking grips, they will not move on you. Thumb throttle, okay, rather than a twist throttle. Excellent brakes on every one of these bikes. Fantastic in every kind of way. Now the power in this one is kind of more like the Cyrusher in the fact that it is very smooth in power delivery on this thing. So when you kick this up, we go to fast 5. When we hit the throttle, it goes, see, it's the same thing though. It's very controlled. See how unlike the Magicycle, which I love, it's so much fun. But this one, you can actually, I can hold it back. You see, it'll spin, but I can hold it back and, okay, but you're not stopping the power. It's just smoother delivery of the power. Okay, it's there and it's going, but it's not, it doesn't hit quite as hard, not being a 52 volt. Like I said, the pure fun factor, wheelie factor, that kind of stuff, that Magicycle just straight up insane fun. This, much more smooth delivery. You can actually drive it one-handed and hit that throttle and it's not jerking the wheel out of you. It's very comfortable in its design. So this is an excellent bike. Notice that the Fiido is the only one that gives me the problem with the motor up here, where we go clunk, 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 clunk. I hate that. I really do. It bums me out. We're here, every one of these, we get that power immediately, and we really like that feature. All right, now one of the cool features of this Heybike over all the other ones is the fact that you do not need a bike carrier like every one of these other ones. You are going to need a hitch carrier on your SUV. You're going to have to put a hitch carrier on there. You're going to need to carry these bikes on a hitch. This one, however, is the one it does not. We got a lever right here. We pull this lever and we flip that. And then basically this bike here is going to fold right in half. Let me bring it around here where I can show you, but we can take this bike and literally fold it right in half on itself. It's got its own kickstand in the middle, so you can bring it right in, set it right down on there like that, and then fold it right up. Pretty easy to do. So we'll show you this. Hold on, let's get that pedal out of the way. There we go. But this bike will fold. You want to make sure your pedals are set right. But we can fold this bike up, and then you hit this middle bar, pull this down, and the handlebar folds down, and now you can fit this whole bike like that right inside of your SUV. You can take this thing and stick it right inside of your truck, anything you want to, just pick it up, set it right in there, and you don't need to have a hitch carrier like you do for these. This bike is that compact, that little, that simple, and as you can see, nothing to it. Look at that. I mean, it's nothing to it to put that inside your car. Now to put it back together, flip the bars up, put them there, flip the lever. You're done there. Take the bike, split the bike back apart. Okay, just roll it and bring it back around. Set the hinge. And now you have a bike that is done that easy and ready to go. Here we go. There it is. Okay. So it's a beautiful system for that fact that you do not need to have a hitch carrier for this. This hinge has proven so far, as long as we've been driving it, to be absolutely rock solid. Zero rattle, zero noise. This bike has been great. Other than that, we're talking about a great bike, great seat, great setup, nice upright position, still very easy to step through, even with the 24-inch wheels. I'm a short guy. I'm only 5'6". You can see the difference here. But even if you're 6 foot tall, a 26-inch tire bike gets to be pretty high if it's got a bar on it. Having that step-through feature is pure gold. So there you go. All right, now what we're going to, in this one also, if you look on the front, we have turn signals. Right here and right here, integrated in the front and the rear. So you got some pretty neat little features with that. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go grab a GoPro and we're gonna take these bikes all for a ride on the same exact loop and then come back and tell you what we think of them. So stick around, we're gonna go do that right now. First up, we are taking the Fiido T1. This is, like I said, this is the bike that I bought myself as my first ever e-bike. And we're going to set this camera so you can see the bike mostly, but we're going to take this dude and we're going to go and we're going to run this loop with it and see what it feels like. All right, so let's go. Come on. Oh, let's jump you up a little bit here. Let's go up a little higher. Okay, and 3, so we're set, and here we go. Again, feel that? I mean, that's getting pretty annoying. That is definitely pretty annoying dealing with that. And like I said, I don't know if it's getting worse. I'm assuming it's getting worse is my thought. And even though that Fiido told me that it's completely normal, like I said, it is annoying that every time, look it. They're telling me that's normal. I'm not going to argue with them, but I'm calling BS on it's what I'm calling. But that's what I got to deal with. But here we go. And again, I've done video reviews on these things as far as, you know, the speed they do, all that kind of stuff. We're not going to get into that kind of stuff. It does suck that I got to put this one into rocket mode myself every time like that to be able to get more than 15 miles an hour. But here we go. Like I said, it's a nice riding bike. Does a great job. And we're going to cut over here. We're going to take it off-road too as well. See how it handles on the bumps while we're sitting. Here we go. Now this one is only front shock right here. Front shock, and we have a suspension seat post. So we drop in, cutting around here. You can definitely feel the bumps in this bike. There's no mistaking that. But see what I mean with the motor? Once you get going, it's got it. It's just in the beginning, that clicking part is annoying. If you have a Fiido T1 and yours doesn't do that, let me know in the comments below, because they told me it was normal. I even sent them a video of it and they told me that's how it is. Yet no other e-bike I have does that. So we go around here. So like I said, you can see that it's a little bumpy, but it's manageable. Little bumpy, but manageable. Over railroad tracks again, you can feel it. We're coming up through here. And again, they all hit top speed. I showed you that in the other video, so you see all that kind of stuff. If we go through here, you can see this is all rutted out in here too, but if you'll feel the bumps, you can feel them knocking you around. As we come through here, feel them bumping you, bouncing you. I mean, this is just basically grass, so you can feel them knocking me around. You can see it. I mean, there's a lot of ruts in here, knocking, bumping, bouncing, ruts right here. I mean, you can feel it in this bike. So there it is. That is the Fiido T1 Pro, and it is a good bike. And like I said, I love it for the price, and I love the features of it if that motor just wasn't like it is, so clicky. And honestly, I do feel that it's getting worse over time, not staying the same. Again, and I have reached out to Fiido on it, and I sent them a video showing them, and they just sent me back simply a very simple statement that says that is a resistance protector and all is good. Any other questions, let us know. That was a response to it. So take it for what it's worth. That's what we got. All right, now let's go over here to Tina's Magicycle. The amazing, this is the powerhouse. Like I said, this bike is an absolute beast. Okay, absolute beast. So we got to fire this one up, and it does have a password set up in there, which we are going to block out so you don't see what it is, and we are going to do it here and do it. But anyway, this is that right here, Magicycle. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to kick it up to total high-end power here. Let it roll it in, and we're going up to 5 on this. We go to 7. All right, 7. Here it is. All right, and like I said, this is pure power right here. I mean, this thing will wheelie all day long. This will go. This bike's fast. There's no doubt about it. So let's go this way. Handlebars are a little tight for me on here. We got them set for her. But the power of this bike, this thing screams. Look at this. I mean, it's gone. There is so much power right out of the gate on this bike. I mean, no bike that I have can catch Tina on this. Like, if we race, she eats me alive. This bike is just super wicked fast. Top speed is the same. Okay, we're not getting any more top speed power out of it. But man, does it get there much. Look at how fast it got up here compared to that Fiido. I mean, this bike screams. Now with this seat post and the seat that Tina has on here, oh man, it's like a full suspension bike. Like, see how, oh, that is so nice. Comparatively, that is butter smooth, rock solid, and straight up love it. But this bike, well, like I said, we can burn this thing out. I mean, like, this thing just, the power in this bike is insane for being a 750 watt bike still. Very, very impressive. And it handles all these bumps and everything. The front fork is great. The rear suspension is great. I can't say one bad thing about this bike. Not at all. I straight up, it is a fantastic bike. The addition of the seat post and this Cloud 9 seat really make a difference on this thing. Over these bumps like nothing. Butter smooth. Like I said, this bike feels just dreamy and powerful. It is absolutely fantastic. Let's go through the same route here. See what I mean with that? Butter smooth, no jarring around. You know, it just eats it up perfectly. Even coming through here where it's all, like I said, bumpy and holes everywhere. I mean, you could feel that. It's just so smooth the way this thing rides through here. Even with it not being set up for me, set up for Tina, butter smooth, just straight up excellent bike. I mean, there is nothing I can knock on this bike. This one has the fun factor hands down with the power delivery of it. Amazing, amazing bike. Straight up amazing. So that's the Magicycle Ocelot right there. And like I said, very well done bike. Now we'll take the Cyrusher right here. She's got the power too. The difference here is the delivery is a little bit butter smoother. Okay, a little bit smoother on the delivery. We have fired this one up. We just hit the button, wait for the screen to kick in. You're seeing some pollen on there. It's the pollen season. And same thing, we're gonna kick this one up all the way. We go to 5 is the highest we got for power mode. Hit the throttle, we're gone. Like I said, this one here screams as well too. It's just much smoother in the delivery. You can see it's like more gentle out of the gate. Okay, almost kind of like starting in second, but yet it's got the power you need to begin with. And this one flies also. It gets up to speed really quick. Okay, so a nice smooth transition as it goes, but it does the job and gets there. Look how quick this gets up to speed as well too. So it does an excellent job. Brakes on it are phenomenal. And the full suspension, now we're getting into a whole new realm. I can go through this thing quick as can be. You don't feel any of this in this thing. It just eats it up. I mean, you might see my GoPro bouncing around, but man, it eats this stuff up like nothing. That full suspension, it's a game changer. I mean, it smooths everything out really well. We are not pedaling. This is every bike we're doing is throttle only. For this whole thing, every test we're doing is throttle only. But you can see how good this eats up all the bumps. And I actually am a really big fan of the twist throttle. I like the twist throttle better. You're good. Yeah, I like the twist throttle much better, and how this is set up on here. So here we go. We'll let him get rolling. All right, here we go. And up over the railroad tracks. Right here, piece of cake. Like I said, this one, and I like the higher position of this one with the way these forks and his handlebar are. I like the more upright cruiser style of this. The Magicycle's a little lower. I would probably put a longer gooseneck on that Magicycle if it was mine. Probably is what I would do, but you can see this thing just eats everything up. Look at this, the same setup, the same place, the same roll, and it's just, I can literally feel the suspension eat all of this up. So absolutely excellent on every kind of way. And that's that Cyrusher. And then the next one is our Heybike, which is the only one that is 24-inch tire tall bike, but also a full suspension bike. So we have full suspension capabilities here, everything there. But we also, in this one here, this one rides like a dream. I'm not gonna lie, it straight up rides like a dream. We're going all the way up on the power assist, hitting it here, and here we go. And this one here, same thing. It's kind of just like that Cyrusher. It's got all the power. It's just a little gentler in it, being not 52 volt like the Magicycle, but very, very controlled. Very simple. Now on this one, I feel like I'm way up higher. I feel much higher up on this bike than I do on the other ones because of those 24-inch tires. Like, it's massively noticeable how much higher up I am. And I feel that on the corners. You feel like you're up higher and you don't quite have that low center of gravity. Is it a bad thing? No, but it's definitely noticeable. It's definitely different. As you can see, they all do about the same kind of speed and get there about the same kind of time. Again, here we got full suspension, so it's easy. And we also have those 24-inch tires. They really bridge over this stuff very nicely, as you can see. Now, like here on this tight turn, it's a little bit trickier because I got taller tires. I'm higher off the ground. You got to be a little more careful. But like I said, cruising is very nice, and over this little chatter like this, it rides super smooth because it's got bigger tires. So it really eats up this little chattery stuff very, very well. It's an excellent bike. And not to mention, you can fold this up. You do not need a bike rack for it. That is a beautiful thing. So very well done bike. Up and over the railroad tracks here. Right there. Cutting back in. But again, higher up, that's something you got to keep in mind. You are taller in position on this one. So you got a lot higher center of gravity. But here we go, smooth as butter again through here. Feel all the bumps, like I said, they just eats them up. Dives right through them, takes them basically right out of the equation with that full suspension. The full suspension is a huge difference. The Magicycle combination of that Cloud9 seat and that seat post, a very close second. So there it is. There's each of these 4 bikes right here, and a perfect review of each of them for you. And let's set up the camera again, and we'll talk a little bit as a conclusion of, actually we'll just do it right now while we got it on our head. Let me make sure we're still rolling, everything's good, and we are. All right, so let's just look at it from this standpoint while we're talking here. In my opinion, best budget bike, no doubt about it, because it's under $1,000. Okay, so it's a great budget bike. However, I do wish Fiido would fix that motor thing. Basket, I like everything about that bike. The Magicycle Ocelot, okay, the power horse, the fun factor, the just, oh my gosh, this thing is just an absolute riot of a bike. For everything you could do, it is just a little powerhouse beast that I love. Adding the Cloud9 seat and that suspension post in there, which I will link below for you, amazing. Takes that whole characteristics of that bike to a whole new level, and it's very well done. Straight up love this bike. The Cyrusher. Okay, this one here is my go-to now. This has got the combination of the suspension. It's got the combination of the great tires that we get on these ones as well too. It's got the nice big headlight on there. Plus I added my own light on there. The motorcycle fork style. The big massive rear rack. Okay, the rack on the back. If you look at this one, good size normal rack. This one back here, you look through her basket, nice size normal rack. You can see it here on here, skinny little rack. You can see it, but nice rack right there on there. When you look at this one, look at the size of that thing. Okay, now you can still mount normal things on there because they can fit inside of this, but this rack is insane that is on the Cyrusher. Straight up love that. And the fact that we get adjustable shocks on there and all the little touches and details. Love the Cyrusher for a 20-inch full suspension step-through bike, and its power delivery is butter smooth. Amazing. The Heybike crushes it in the fact that it is a big 24-inch cruiser, which is super nice for cruising, super nice for doing everything. Can still hunt with it, can still use it off-road, can use it on-road, and you do not have to mess with a carrier. You can fold it up and throw it in the back. You can put 2 of these in the back of any SUV and just stuff them right in there without having to mess with grabbing a rack, strapping bikes down. Sweet, simple, easy, and the hinge is pretty rock solid and bulletproof. And I love the little accents like the turn signals on the front, turn signals on the rear, little details they give you, the little kickstand underneath here for when you're folding it, you're not going to hurt nothing under there. Excellent bike. The reflective rings around the tire for city driving, and the fact that they still put a off-road tire on it, win-win. I mean, they did nice on this. This bike is phenomenal. In the upright cruiser position of the high bars and the seat setup, make it an absolute dream. Okay, make it an excellent, very fun, very comfortable bike. So there you go. There's my feedback on 4 awesome options of bikes. And I will link every one of them down below for you in the description so you can see each one of these bikes and check them out for yourself. But you can't go wrong with any of them. I think they're all fantastic. And there you go. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Hopefully it helps you guys decide what bike might be best for you or what scenario you might be looking for. And any questions or comments you got, put them down below. I'm happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.